So my question for you is just really in the beginning stages, like the early beginning stages of building your company. How were you able to like, you know, get people on it or talk about it? Were you directly emailing people like, hey, I have this opportunity for you? Or like, how were you able to get people on the platform?
I think for the startups in particularly, those ones have been relatively easy for us to get, right? Because again, the demand is there for them. It's really hard for them to break into like getting their word out about what they're working on. Currently, paid ads are extremely expensive, and once you stop paying for them, they just don't work anymore because it can't happen. But the good thing about content and what we do is that if it's a podcast, if it's an article, people can read it now. People can read it 5 years from now. It's still going to keep bringing you new customers as long as you keep doing the business. So that part is going to be pretty straightforward for us. But when it comes to the media folks, I think that's where we had to do a lot of pushing, right? So for example, what we did was we started with events first. We got a lot of event people using it from Harvard, MIT to actually use it, I mean, consistently for the events and judging of competitions and stuff like that to find judges. And what we're doing there is just actively tap into our networks, right? So right now what we're doing is we're looking for influential media folks. For example, we're talking to a couple of ones like who are really huge. And so basically once we get them and we have them buy into what we're trying to do as EllisX, they actually serve as a catalyst to bring a lot more of these companies directly to, I mean, or these opportunities directly to EllisX. So that's how we're doing it. Go ahead.
And my other question too, so I know like the user, like us, the startups would be paying for it. Are these people paying for it to use the platform as well?
No, they're not paying for using the platform because we're, again, they're the harder part to attract. So what we're doing is we're trying to get enough volume over there. So then we have a lot more opportunities to offer these startups. Because I mean, we see if we had a payment barrier, there's going to be a while before they adopt it. So we want to get them used to the whole system, the whole new way of doing things. And once they're used to that and it becomes integral to their stories and their podcast and their events, then the next idea there is to now get them start paying for the platform. But till then, we want to actually just, I mean, get as much of them on the platform as possible so they can create more opportunities for the startups.
And then my last question for you is like, you know, 5 years from now, like what would be your goal for this company? How do you imagine it? How do you imagine seeing what is the goal for the company?
I mean, the goal ultimately is, if you look at our mission statement, right? Before we started the company, Leia and I sat down and decided, okay, what kind of company do we want to create? And I think one main thing we see is that one thing that people keep bringing up is the fact that there's so many people who are out there who are ingenious, who can come up with really great ideas, but it's really hard for these guys to all have the equal opportunity, right? So I think in the next 5 to 10 years, what we'll be doing is, again, our mission is to foster relationships that empower innovators to succeed. So the idea there is we will be amplifying the voices of innovators when they have no voice. We'll be giving them the platform to get access to opportunities to share their stories, and we'll be helping them, I mean, spread their insights and their unique way of seeing the world through more channels as easily as possible, so they can actually build a brand and build a fan base around the company. Because if you think about big companies that actually are doing really well and have a huge fan base, for example, Tesla, SpaceX, I mean, Salesforce, all these companies didn't start because of like an actual tech, okay, we just do this tech product. It's more about building a following, having a lot of people buying into the mission. I mean, if it's changing the world, moving the world towards more sustainable energy, that's Tesla, or making humanity more interplanetary. It's more than just what you're doing. It's what are you trying to accomplish in the world? How are you making the world a better place, right? So the more we give startups, irrespective of their backgrounds, a platform to share their stories, the more they're able to connect with people who like what they're working on and buy into their mission and help scale that innovation like 10x, 20x, and just make the world a better place. So that's ultimately what we're doing.
Yeah.